Hello, everyone. I'm Colleen Vanderzyden, and this is Creating an Inspired Life. Thank you so much for watching and listening today. I am a medium, and as a medium, I connect in with our loved ones on the other side. And I'm also a certified life coach. And as a life coach, I help people basically take action to change their lives, to reclaim their power, to create the life they want to have. Today's coaching tip is about living in authenticity rather than being stuck in the thought of what would they think. I was talking to somebody the other day who had recently become interested in metaphysical topics. He'd had some great experiences working with energy and healing classes, and then he went to a mediumship workshop and had a great time talking to spirits there. He was very excited about these new adventures. And as he talked about it, he said his family, friends, and clients didn't know anything about this side of him. He wasn't telling anybody about this interest, even though it was something he was very passionate about and very excited about. He kept saying, "Oh, I can't tell them. What would they think?" He's in a well-respected science field. His thought was that people would judge him. They might criticize him because in some way he wouldn't be meeting their expectations as to what kind of person he should be. If he's working in healing energy or talking to dead people, it could be perceived by some people that he might have a mental health issue or, that he's crazy or something, and that he had the feeling that they might not respect him. And he is very well respected in his field, and that was a concern for him, that he not be respected. It's very normal for us to question whether we can reveal who we truly are. We've been brought up to believe that we have to fit into these societal norms, to do the right thing according to other people. We can buy into this idea that we need to hide who we truly are in order to be safe, respected, or valued. My friend hadn't really considered the idea that he didn't have to hide this interest, that he didn't have to do that. His fear of what others would think had blocked his ability to question why he was allowing that thought, a fear-based thought, to stop him from being who he truly is. As it turned out, as we were talking about him not being authentic with his people. He wasn't giving his friends a chance to express their opinions. He wasn't trusting them with information that is important to him. He was more concerned about what they would think than he was with being authentic and deepening that connection to his friends and his family. Now, of course, if they're true friends and a good family, they should show some kind of interest and support him in what he is passionate about. He does now, however, a little disclaimer, he does have to decide who deserves to know him as he truly is. It's not necessary to share who we truly are with every single person we meet. We should choose who has the privilege to get to know us fully, because it truly is a privilege for us to be open to someone, to be vulnerable, to be true to who we are, and to let somebody into that. It is a risk for us, so we do have to choose wisely. As we go through our lives, sometimes we're not aware of our beliefs, thoughts, or fears that get in the way and limit us. My friend didn't question his concern of what would they think because it wasn't in his awareness. He wasn't aware that he was hiding who he truly was. And he wasn't aware that this thought in his head was limiting his interactions with other people by keeping him limited and not expressing who he really was and what he's interested in. Have you ever said or thought to yourself, what would they think? Have you ever let the fear of other people's possible disapproval stop you from being yourself? You don't say what you want to do. You don't do what you want to do. I know I have. And what I've noticed over the past few years as I've been working on myself is if I notice myself limiting what I'm saying or doing because of possible disapproval, I'll ask myself, is this who I am? Living true to who I am is very important to me. I don't want to limit myself and not express myself authentically. If I'm not saying, the question, is this who I am, helps me refocus on what's important to me. When I decide that it is important for me to speak my truth, it's easier to step back into my power and do it. For my friend, in asking the question, is this who I am? He would recognize that his interests are an important part of him, who he is. He would also recognize that sharing his feelings, his thoughts, is important to maintaining an honest relationship, particularly with his friends and his family. He values integrity. In realizing he's limiting himself by not being authentic, he'll be able to move into sharing these things with the right people. So remember, you don't have to share your whole self with everyone. You do want to be discerning. If you know someone is highly critical of you and they'll never change, you just know it, then don't give them any more ammunition for them to be critical or judgmental. You have the right to share what you want to share and make a conscious decision to protect yourself. Okay, so you don't have to share with everyone. But if you're limiting yourself with the people you love, the people you trust, the people you like, out of fear of that possible disapproval, you're limiting yourself, but you're also not being fair to them. You're not allowing them to see you for who you really are. You're not giving them the opportunity to connect with you at a deeper level and to be there for you. You have the choice with what you can share, and you have the choice to step into the power of who you really are. When you ask, is this who I am? It helps you reclaim your power and become your true self. You'll become more aware of the choices you can make as you interact with other people. If you notice you're limiting yourself because of fear, you can make a different choice. When you live in the authenticity of who you are, you'll stop limiting yourself. And asking that simple question, is this who I am, can help you live that more meaningful life. And that's my coaching tip for today. You can reach me at psychicmediumcolleen.com, as well as on Facebook, Colleen Vanderzyden, medium and self-empowerment coach. And we are going to go on to our first caller, who is Rachel from New Zealand. Rachel, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome. And how can I help you today?
Well, basically, what can you tell me?
Okay. Well, this is what I'll do then, is I'm going to touch in with spirit on the other side and see who comes in. And I do have a gentleman who's coming in right now. And as he comes in, he strikes me as being somebody who's on the older side. And he does actually remind me, I want to be either smoking a pipe or smoking something else. Okay, I want to be doing that. I don't feel like it's excessive, so it may have been just for a short amount of time. The way he's coming in is kind of funny because I do want to sit in a chair and I do want to have my feet up, and I might be taking a little nap here as well. And as I'm doing that, it's funny because it reminds me of a spirit who would, somebody be sitting there sleeping and somebody else might change the television or something, change the station, and they would wake up and say, what are you doing? So even though he's asleep, I don't think he's always asleep. So this is very interesting. I also want to be reading the newspaper. Okay. Do you have somebody like that you can recognize that's on the other side?
Yes, yep, definitely.
Okay. I have to say I kind of like him because he's kind of fun. Who is he to you? Is it your father or grandfather or something?
My dad.
Okay. And would he also be a person, because I get the impression of an interesting sense of humor, that there's a little bit of teasing going on here. And I also get the impression he's actually very intelligent. Not intelligent that he's going to tell everybody what to do, but he knows a lot about a lot. Okay, so he's not pushy with it, but there's also high expectations. You know, he expects his family, his friends, his people around him to be to do the best they can, to be responsible. Tell me if this is true. Does he really not like disciplining people? Does he not like to tell people not to do something?
No. Yeah, he's like that.
Because I feel like other people would try to be do the right thing because they don't want him to have to say something to him. But I also feel him not wanting to say anything about it. You know, it's just, I just don't want to. So you know what to do. So just do it. So there is that coming through as well. And you know,
man, you know.
Yeah. I really like his energy. Yeah. Well, he knows a lot. And there's also this sense of security with him. I feel very safe with him, and I get the impression that we know he's there for us. And I have to tell you, there's a lot of pride coming through. Okay, great. And I can tell you there's a lot of pride coming through for you, because he says, oh, you're fun. He says you can speak your mind if you really have to, and you can just get it right out there. Are you really good about that?
I never used to be, but I have been probably the last couple of years. I speak how I feel.
Okay. He's very proud of you for that, and I understand when you were younger, you were a little bit more on the shyer side. And part of it is you're very sensitive. You can kind of feel what other people are feeling, that kind of thing, the empathy and all that.
Yep.
And also trying to figure out how you fit in. That was an issue too. Like you're not really sure how you fit, but you've definitely come into your own. And he loves that you speak your mind, because he says it's so much easier when people know where they stand. And you've also found out that speaking your mind can save a lot of trouble if you just say what you need to say. You don't have to go back and forth and all of this. You could just say whatever you want to do. And I love it. And so he's very happy with this. Do you have a sister by any chance?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because all of a sudden I'm getting the energy, I want to talk about a sister. So there is an acknowledgement there. Okay, this is interesting. Do you know somebody by the name of Debbie or Deborah or something that sounds like Debbie? Debbie, Peggy.
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's popping into my head. And sometimes they just pop in, and sometimes it means more. But do you know someone, I don't know if it's related to that name or if it's related to your sister, somebody who's very much has had some real strong struggles with life and hasn't felt very secure with themselves. Does that make sense for somebody around you? Okay. Yeah. And there's an interesting feel with that, because I want to reassure them that, it's going to be okay, but they need to kind of calm down a little bit. Because I feel them getting worked up over things, it's kind of like I react before I realize what's really happening. So that's coming in too. So I definitely want to say to relax. Okay, that makes sense. I'm glad it's making sense. And the thing is too, does this person not really listen to you?
No.
So you could try to explain things, but it doesn't seem to really make a difference.
It's funny, actually, Connie, because I'm the younger sister and she's the one, and I'm the one that knows it. How, I'm the one that advises her.
Isn't that funny how it works? It's amazing, isn't it? But and I don't feel like we're really listening so well here anyway, but you can try. Okay. And there is also the feeling that even though we know they don't so well, that it is going in their head somewhere. It is sinking in there, but there's how do I want to put this? There's a vulnerability with the other person where I feel like I'm not quite good enough, and I don't want people to look down on me. There's that kind of feeling. So there's a little insecurity there. Yeah. So, kind of boosting that up a little bit would probably help a little. Although if you don't do that regularly, start small, because otherwise it'll be suspicious. So you can make some positive comments. Wouldn't it be funny? All of a sudden you just start telling her all these amazing things about herself. She'd be thinking, oh, you want something. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you might want to just be very kind of gentle as what you say, so to get it in there. Yeah. But I also understand that you don't take offense by this, okay? You don't. It's just the way it is. It's okay. You do the best you can, and you just make sure people know you're there for them. And he appreciates that you let them know that you are there for them. Even though you don't put up with their crap anymore, you are there. Yeah, I used to.
I tell you, Connie, I used to, but not now.
Yeah, we don't have time for that anymore. We just don't. And they know that, but they also know you're there. So you're doing the right things, okay? So you're not coddling people and all of that. So there's a lot of love coming through for you right now. And is your mom on the other side as well?
No, but she's been very sick.
Okay, because I wanted to acknowledge her all of a sudden. And so, and I'm not saying she's passing or anything like that. It was interesting. So I
Yeah.
just want to mention her, and I do understand, you said she's sick, so there are some issues, of course.
Yeah.
But have you noticed her talking to people on the other side yet?
She talks to Dad a lot.
Okay. So when that happens, if you happen to be there, see if you can get some information. Find out what's going on. What are they talking about? Because I'm getting the impression he's there and they are having legit conversations. So find out what they're saying. See what's happening, because it's kind of interesting to hear that. And sometimes people dismiss that as, oh, they're hallucinating or something's wrong with them. But that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah. Yeah. I have that feeling.
Yeah. Oh, Rachel, it was so nice talking to you tonight. You have a great day, and maybe I'll talk to you again another time.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you, Connie.
Okay. You're welcome. You have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. And that was Rachel from New Zealand. And we are going to move on to Graciela from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Graciela, sorry, how are you today?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Awesome. I'm great. And how can I help you today?
Okay, well, I wanna to talk about my true purpose of life, because lately I've been a little bit, with existential crisis, and I've been really confused and a little bit lost. So I want to know, like, I've been trying to make music a living, and I don't know if I can do that.
Okay, so are you contemplating changing careers, or are you trying to move into something that's more appealing?
Yes.
Okay.
Like my true calling.
Yeah, and the interesting thing to me is I understand that you've been in some positions that just, you just do them because you have to do them. Because you have to have a job to survive, kind of thing. And it's getting to the point now that it's not feeling right anymore to do that, because it's just not fulfilling for you. I get the impression that you're a person who is very good with other people. Are you very good with other people? Like how you talk to them?
Yes.
And I'm also getting the impression of going back to school. Have you been thinking about going back to school to get additional training, or going to college or something like this?
Well, I never finished my degree, and right now I'm 32.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, probably I have considered that.
Yes, and I'm wondering too if you have considered going into either the healthcare or educational fields. Have you thought about working in either of those fields?
I thought about the healthcare. Yeah, I'm really into nutrition. Yeah.
Because what I'm getting a really strong impression of you wanting to help people, that you want to be there for them and kind of guide them. And so for me, that falls into both healthcare and education, because it's showing them and telling them different ways to succeed. And I get the impression too that the idea of going back to school is a little bit kind of, I'm not really sure I want to do that, because I'm going to have to pay for it, figure out how to do it, and how am I going to get money and all of that. And I understand that. And I don't know what the situation is in Puerto Rico, or if you would consider coming to the United States. But I know that there's different funding available for older people for college, because they don't want just all the time the younger kids, who are right out of high school. To have some of the older adults there, because they come in with a totally different perspective. So I know there can be funding available for that. My feeling is, if you don't pursue this, if you don't that you'll regret.
Okay.
So you'll have to, I should have done too old. So
Sorry,
one of my
the signal. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, can you repeat the last one?
Yes. Yeah,
Please?
I know. I think there's a problem with my uploading speeds here. You're not too old to go back to and do these things, and to do what you want to do. So what we want to do is make sure that you take some action steps to get to that. Think about what you really want to do and how you're going to get there with it. This is so interesting. Are you still?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. I have a lot of issues with my internet lately at my house, so I'm like, oh, it's such a pain. So it's cool to me because I know you want to make a difference. So I would recommend.
Sorry?
Yes, I know you want to make that difference. So what I would love to do is just kind of take some moments, some time to just sit down and kind of think about, okay, if I were to go to school, what would I do? How would I get there? What is it I want to achieve after? And figure out what the end result is. Because when you figure out what the end result is, you'll be able to keep moving forward to it. It doesn't mean you have to know how you're going to get there. All it means is that you have the end result in mind, and we allow the universe to help us get there. And that will make a big difference for you. And the thing is, too, this is interesting. I'm actually feeling a job for you related to where you might go to school. So I don't know where you might go.
Sorry?
Where you might go to school. So it makes me wonder if there's an opportunity to work there while you're attending school. So if there's an opportunity there for you to work there, that would be easier for you. And it would also give you some additional experience because it wouldn't be a job where you just really don't like it. It would be better than that. Okay. That's important. So when you start thinking about the places you want to go and all of that, you want to just keep it in mind that they're going to offer what you want. The other thing I see with you, and it is kind of related. So if this comes in, as you get going with this plan here, I'm seeing kids around you. So I'm wondering if you might be working with children as well. Okay. Because you have a very good way with children too. So there may be another opportunity connected to whatever it is you do. So there is that. So I would be checking out some of the stuff that's you and see what feels right. Now, I do want to touch in with somebody in spirit for just a moment here. Do you happen to know a younger man who would have passed on the earlier side, like in his 20s, maybe early 30s?
Me?
Yeah. Do you know somebody?
Sorry, I'm a little bit slow because English is not my first language. Okay, can you repeat that?
Sure thing, no problem. Do you know somebody who's passed to the other side, a young man who would be in his 20s or maybe early 30s? Because I have a spirit on the other side who's coming in, and he's young. He's not older. He's a young man, so in his 20s at most, maybe early 30s.
Is he alive?
What age? Say it again.
Is he alive?
No, the other side. He's dead. Do you know?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Do you know anybody like this?
No.
Not that you can think of right now. Okay. So I'm just going to tell you about him because coming in, there's probably a connection with you. So you may know someone who knows him, or later on you'll go, oh my goodness, I know who that is. Okay. He doesn't have to be a relative. He can be a friend. He can be, your friend of a friend, all those things. But he's coming in and he's giving me the impression I'm seeing water and I'm seeing an accident in water. So I don't know if I have a boat accident, something with water. And I don't know if that's how he passes, but there's a connection with an accident in water. And I do feel like there could be drowning here. And the way he's coming in, he's giving me the impression he's actually on the more reckless side. He doesn't really pay attention to his safety so much. He's just having fun. But I don't know what's going on with this accident. But the reason he's coming through is because you will eventually figure this out. He just wants you to tell people, hi, hello, that he's okay, that the accident wasn't as bad as it looked. Okay? So when it makes sense. It wasn't as bad as it looked. So it looked like a bad experience for him, but it wasn't as bad as it looked. So he wants to reassure people. So people are saying things like, oh, that was horrible. I can't believe he had to go through that. But he wants to say it's not that way. So when you figure it out, and you will figure it out, you can just pass that message on to his people, his family, because he just wants them to know. He says that you're the kind of person who would do that because you do want to help. And so that is important for him to acknowledge too. So he's thanking you in advance for passing that on and being there.
Okay.
So Graciela, so I need to wrap up. So what you want to do is you want to check into where you want to go to school and figure out exactly what you want to do so you can get that end result in mind. Do not let the money thing stop you from taking steps. So just take some steps. So it was so nice talking to you today. You have a great day, and I'll talk to you again sometime maybe.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
have
bye-bye.
a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye. And that was Graciela from Puerto Rico. I want to thank you all for watching and listening today. It was great being here with you. And remember to just be true to yourself, live in authenticity of who you are. You can connect with me at psychicmediumcolleen.com, as well as on Facebook, Colleen Vanderzyden, medium and self-empowerment coach. You have a great week, and I will talk to you next week. Goodbye.